Good evening and welcome to Being Black and Craft, where we don't apologize for recognizing our influence on craft beer. This is Angie, the Undeniable Vixen, your host. We have an amazing guest this evening, but let's go ahead and get into some news. So I'm having to do a little bit of meandering, kind of fiddling around with, I don't know what's going on with my system, but I'm going to have to do this manually. So first off, today is the last day for early bird ticket pricing for Barrel and Flow. So, it's coming up. We got less than a month, basically. A little shy, less than a month before you make your pilgrimage to Pittsburgh and enjoy food, fun, beer, and crafted cocktails as well. So I hope that y'all enjoy and make sure you get the discount. Then we have Vine Street. They're having a bingo night. It is on the 1st and 3rd Thursday. So starting coming up this Thursday, July 16th, grab your crew, enjoy great beer, and play for fun prizes. So you can get your bingo card if you go to Vine Street Brewing, their IG, there is a link for you to pick up your bingo cards. Then if you're in the DFW Metroplex, Smidox, he's, hitting the ground running. They have a canning line right now, a real small one, a little one where you can get, a can or two. And he's having some food trucks out there. But this coming Thursday, they're doing one of their first pairings. So it's going to be bonbons and brews, pairings from Chocolate Secrets, which is an amazing, I believe it is Black owned, place that has amazing chocolate. So if you're in the DFW Metroplex, go to Smidox on their IG to get the link to sign up and enjoy some bonbons and brews. Then in the Atlanta area, if you may have been to the Barrels on the Bayou, you probably tasted this amazing oyster stout by Konos, and I'm sorry, I failed to. I'm forgetting who the other partner was with this collaboration, but I believe this is one that has been taken by storm. This oyster stout was amazing. I loved it. So he has it actually in Beer Girls, Growlers, and Bottle Shop in Atlanta. So if you are wanting to pick that up, make sure you get to Beer Girls, Growlers, and Bottle Shop. And if you're still in the Marietta, Georgia area, Black Eden is available. That particular steakhouse over there on Cobb Parkway, southeast of Marietta, Georgia, you can have some delicious Black Eden whiskey there. Then as I was scrolling, mind my business, loving Jesus like I do, I came up on some Tapped In news, and he was letting us know that there is a new Black-owned cocktail brand that's making noise with a rum-based ready-to-drink cocktail called Dewey Juice. So 10% ABV, several flavors, and ships nationwide to 45 states. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to be doing some more checking on that particular product and seeing what's up with that. Then we have Black Horizon, and let me get my notes here. They're having their 9th anniversary. So on their 9th anniversary, they're celebrating from July 17th through the 19th. They're celebrating 9 years of beer, and that this weekend is going to kick off a luau party with surf, sun, and fun. So on Friday, it's going to be day one. They're going to have beers, Party Wave, which is a tropical lager, 5%, a juicy tropical lager that's being brewed with lots of wheat and hand-selected hops to create a wonderful aromatic and hearty tropical expression. Then they're going to have the Big Kahuna, which is going to be a double West Coast style IPA, 8%, an even bigger surfer than Surf King, our classic West Coast style IPA, packed full of tropical, piney, and citrus hops for a big wave rider that rules the coast. And they're going to have t-shirts, they're going to have Hawaiian shirts, and all kinds of stuff. That's just Friday, and they're going to do stuff for the whole weekend, but just to give y'all a glimpse. So if you're wanting more information, please check out Black Horizon Brewing if you're in that area for them. Then I mentioned this previously on another episode, but just to reiterate, because I'm sure she would love to continue to push this forward. Love Corkscrew is wanting distributors in the Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Nevada areas. So basically small niche or big distributors, small distributors, whatever. Please send anyone that is interested in wanting to be a distributor to info at Love Corkscrew. Then we have Love. And let me get that information for Love. They're having a Purple Glass Super Club dining experience. And one table, great food, beautiful people, endless conversation. The Purple Glass dining experience is almost here, and you've been thinking about joining us. This is your sign. A thoughtful, curated, multi-course dinner with love sparkling wines, an intimate outdoor setting, new connections, and unforgettable moments. This isn't just dinner, it's an experience designed to slow down, connect, and celebrate community. This is going to be on July 25th between 5 to 9. So you go to Love, their IG, to grab tickets there. And it's going to be a wonderful experience. Let's see. Then we have Montclair. If you're in the Montclair, New Jersey area, they're having some type of walk or run that's coming up, and it's less than 4 weeks, but they've curated this Montclair Mile hat that's going to be available when you participate. So go to Montclair Brew on their IG. You register now. The event is going to be on August 6th, and it's called trialsofmilesracing.com. So check that out. Then if you're in the Chicago area and you are a skater, you love to skate, roller skating, it goes hand in hand with Chicago. From the neighborhood rinks to street sessions, skating has been a joyful part of our city's culture, and we're bringing the energy to Garfield Park. Join the Care More Foundation and Civic Engagement and the Chicago Park District for the Rink Effect, part of the Nights Out Park Summer Series. Spend the day celebrating with community, open roller skating, showcasing performances of some of Chicago's best, of a Who's the Best Skater, mini showdown, live DJs, music, food, and of course, craft beer. This event is going to be July 25th as well, between 1 to 6 at Garfield Community Plaza. So bring your family, bring your friends, and help celebrate one of Chicago's most beloved traditions. And you can always get more information through Moore's, and it's free admission. And if you want to become a vendor at this event, you can contact Jamal, JAMHAL, at CareMoors, MOORS.org for vendor opportunities, or just click the link in their bio for Moore's Brewing. So, and I believe my last thing is Hennessy Creek Farms. They are having a Rhythm and Brews Craft Beer Festival. It's going to be coming up September 25th and 26th. This is a massive Black-owned farm that's just like lush, and people have all kinds of events events and things like that there. But I believe that they're really trying to gain the momentum of the craft beer portion of that particular farm, and I'm really excited about it. So, Rhythm and Brews meets Afrobeats at the Creek. The vibe has shifted. This September, we're bringing the energy of Afrobeats to the farm, where music, craft beer, and culture come together for an unforgettable experience. Tickets go on sale soon. Vendors and VIP will soon be announced. So make sure that you go to Hennessy Creek Farms Brewery and get your tickets to enjoy that event. And I believe that is all of my news. Wrong one. Okay, so let me go ahead and introduce my guest. Good evening. Good evening, Brandi. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Amazing, amazing. I'm so glad to see you.
It's good to see
So
you.
it has I found you again. As I said, I was, scrolling Instagram, minding my business, loving Jesus like I do, and I happened to on your beautiful face, and I was like, I need to know more about her. I see that she loves whiskey. She's a barrister. She has a brain, and she's doing this. She's doing these different things. I saw some awards being given, and I was like, okay, what is going on here? So let me start off first with just your introduction to alcohol. Do you remember your first drink?
I don't remember my first drink, honestly, because I
No.
wasn't a big drinker in college.
Okay.
So I was dibbling and dabbling. Even after college, still dibbling and dabbling. Trying to find myself, trying to figure out what's going on, things like that. So I really can't recall. Now, what I can recall is when I fell in love with an old fashioned. And
Mm,
that's where it got me started. It was in New Orleans in around 2017, and I was with two of my really good friends, Greg and Dason. And so they were like, "You're a lawyer now, so you need a professional drink." And they introduced me into an old fashioned when we were in New Orleans, and so my love for old fashioned started there.
so were you it's old fashioned is um also my drink of choice.
Yeah.
So um were you into any other liquors before that time at all?
Not like this.
Okay.
No. It was just I was drinking, vodka and cranberry. And
Okay.
I was like big on Grey Goose and Belvedere. And that's only because that's what you hear on the, on in the
Hmm.
songs. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm a little, born in the 1900s per se. So back in the day, early 2000s, we were drinking Incredible Hulks and X-rated and Sprite. So,
Yeah.
I was into those type of drinks back then. So in my early 20s.
So, okay, so tell me more about as far as like your name, because I'm thinking of barrister, so it makes me think of England
Mm-hmm.
when I hear
Mm-hmm.
barrister. So, do you have people trying to figure out what that means? What's barrister?
No, because they never say it right. They say barista. So they don't even go there. So for you to say barrister, sis, we are besties now. No, people do not say it right. They say the old fashioned barista. And I'm like, there is no A at the end. So they never go to Old England, British lawyer. They don't ever go that. I have to say, I am a lawyer who loves old fashions. And barrister is the traditional Old English term of a lawyer. So,
Yes.
yeah. So, no, I am too busy saying, I don't know how to make coffee. I make K cups in my Keurig.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. So. With you being a lawyer, how long have you been how long
Oh,
have you been a
child,
lawyer?
12 years. 12
Okay.
years. I've
Do
been licensed for 12. I just actually, I'm not gonna say retired. I have just put a pin in practicing law as
okay.
a month ago to do this full
Mhm.
time. So I'm betting on myself and I become the old fashioned barrister full time. So please do not ask me for no legal advice, people. Like, I am not giving out legal advice. I am not taking cases. I am not going to courtrooms. I am no. If you got whiskey related bourbon questions, we can talk. You can book me for whiskey tastings, all the funds, but the legal side, we have put a pin in it for now.
Okay. Well, that's amazing. That's good. I like that. It's like, trying something new, like you said, betting on yourself. And it seems like the more that I encounter people, well, I know one person in particular I think of that is has two law degrees, and she's
Mm.
something totally different. Um, how it's you're getting this, and then you're just like, yeah, I want to change. I want to do something different. I want to do something, follow my new passion. Because I'm sure that being, you did all this work, that it was some type of passion to it for you to
It
get
was, and I
past and
still
get to
love
that.
being a lawyer. I mean, the industry I did mostly family law, and that was family law is very stressful. So that wasn't the
Mhm.
path that I wanted to take. And I'm not, and I still say I am keeping my license, but I'm more going to eventually do the consulting route for those that are trying to get into the spirits and beverage industry. So I'll use my license in regards to that versus being a litigator and fighting crime or doing divorces and protective orders.
So when you had your one of your first old fashions, which is another thing I was thinking about as far as the old fashioned being a very simple drink.
You would
Simple.
think.
It's simple, but you can get some bad ones, and I've
Yes,
had some.
and that's why I created my own. That is why I wrote a book, and then I decided to create my own, and it's in liquor stores in Dallas too. A
Okay.
few in liquor stores. But yeah, an old fashioned is just three ingredients. It is with your whiskey or bourbon, simple syrup, and this is post prohibition, and bitters. So that's it. You just gotta ration it out a bit. We'll do like 2 ounces of 2 ounces of bourbon, do a half an ounce of simple syrup, and do like 2 to 3 dashes of bitters. You'll think that's simple. And then, put it in your rock glass, add your big rock or your, round ice.
Hmm.
But no, it's not that
Yeah,
simple.
I'll never forget the one that I had. I went to a cigar bar just trying to hang out, and I wanted an old fashioned, and it came back, and it was so red. I was like, "What is this? Why is it bleeding? Why
That
is
part.
it red? What's wrong with it?" And then I tasted it, and I was like, "So you put all this cherry juice
And they use
in
the red cherry,
in this
not the Luxardo.
thing." He no, it was actually that, but it was still just so dang red. And then he was like, "Oh, he thought he was doing me a favor, but
Oh,
because
that's cute.
I was a lady, and that I
Hmm.
wanted to be sweet, and I said, no, I want you to go back and put some liquor in it because I wanted liquor."
I get that. So when I'm out, like me and my boyfriend will be out and we'll order. And sometimes he doesn't. I'm the one to introduce him to old fashioned. But if I'm not sitting there or if I turn my head or something and he order for us, then they'll come back with they give him the old fashioned and he might like get a tequila or something more fruity because his palate is a little bit more fruity.
Mhm.
So he'll add, and it'll be interesting because with him he likes the interesting drinks. So he'll try something and then they'll think it's for me, and then I'll reach out and just grab the old fashioned and be like, no. Like, let's don't assume that.
Right.
And sometimes the waiters be like eyes big and be like, "Oh, my bad," or I just assume. Don't assume.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's not assume. I'm the bourbon drinker. I'm the whiskey drinker. You know, I educated myself. I attend whiskey university to learn all things about whiskey and bourbon so I can enhance my palate. I can sit at the bar and run down the bottles and the history behind it. So, but sometimes our, fellow counterparts, men don't tend to appreciate that a lot of times. So it can be, sometimes I'll downplay it because, men would be like, oh, you drinking old fashioned. What you know about that? And depending on how I
Mm-hmm.
feel, I might be like, oh, I know a little something, something. And then, if they want to buy me a drink, sure, go ahead. What you think I don't know? Let's go.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's really interesting, um, because like you're dating, you have a boyfriend, but as far as like me dating, when I order something like that, it seems like it's Russian roulette, really, because,
Ooh.
because it could be, oh, well, you having you know, a nice palate, or hey, I thought I invited a lady out. I'm drinking with the dudes, and it's just like, what do you mean it's liquor? Um, and it's almost like a double-edged sword, because in the beer industry, it's considered to be white male presenting, although in reality, it's women of color that created beer and made beer.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's trying to change that narrative. So how do you change that narrative to people who may assume that old fashioned drinking bourbon, drinking whiskey is just for men only? How do you
I
do?
So I don't think I try to change the narrative because honestly, in the circles and spaces that I'm always in, I don't get that much misogynistic part from it. Like I
Okay.
don't get a lot. That's actually because I hear a lot of people say when they order an old fashioned, they do get that. Now my issue is it's not that I don't get the, oh, you're not feminine enough or whatever when you order an old fashioned. It's more so, well, what you know about that drink? It's more on, they try to challenge me on that educational level, or what you know
Mm-hmm.
about one of the bottles, or what you know about what you drinking. So not like, why are you drinking that? I thought I was with the fellas. It's more so, who do you think you are, or how, what you know about that, because you're a female, you're supposed to know about vodka and everything, and not about this.
Okay.
So I get questioned on, do you know the proof of that, or do you know what proof means on a bottle? Do the aging statement? I get those type of things. So I don't ever get like, you're drinking that and, oh, I'm expecting this. I just get the questions.
Okay. And
And then I just
that
go
could be
ahead.
a lot, because I just want to sit here and enjoy my drink, and then I'm having to basically educate you on what I already am aware of.
And and I love doing, that's that lawyer side that I always come out. Cause then I'd be
Okay.
like, oh my old fashioned, let's go. Because it depends on how they come off. Like
Hmm.
some men can come off very arrogant and they be like, well, it'll be Russell Reserve year 9 and whatever. And it's made. I'm like, yes, I know about Russell Reserve. I know, I know these people. I know what's going on. It's like I know about Jimmy Russell. I know yes, but depending, like sometimes I'll be like, hold my old fashioned. I got time today. Other times I'll be like, I don't feel like it. Eventually somebody's gonna say, you know what? Let me buy you this pour so you can taste it. And I'm feeling that mood. So then I'll downplay it and be like, he about to buy this $35 pour of Blanton's, and I'm like, and I'm gonna take it.
Hmm.
And I'm act like I
Absolutely.
don't have 3 bottles of it at home.
Right.
So and so it's really the mood. Like, or somebody be like, oh, I'm gonna buy just Eagle Rare. And I'm gonna be like, oh, that's Sazerac. This you can get it, the Sazerac house in New Orleans. Or, it comes out every April on the shelf, 10 year. but I'm not gonna act like I got a couple of them at home. You know, like
Mhm.
no, Eagle Red, double Eagle Red. You know, so yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the type I get.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it is fascinating how I don't understand, and maybe that's something that a panel should be brought to and be like, why do men have issues with women drinking dark liquor, whiskeys and bourbon,
Mhm.
versus why do you expect me to have a vodka martini or a gin?
Absolutely. It's it's definitely interesting. It's definitely interesting. I think it's getting a little bit better because we have moved, or a subsection of people have moved into the cigar industry as far as
Mm-hmm.
being in the lounges. So that kind of goes hand in hand. Having that, that little, you know, finger of whiskey along with your cigar to pair with it. So it's getting better. It's getting better. But as you being an educator, or as far as like whiskey educator, um, tell me more about your experience getting your credentials in whiskey.
Well, I kind of started with, and this is so cliche, I kind of did it during COVID.
Hmm.
So at first, I was just looking for the best old fashioned in Houston, and before the world shut down, and then the world shut down. So then I'm like, okay, well, I got to figure out what to do because I don't like sitting around doing nothing. And I just started basically researching different credentials out there. So actually, prior to the world, no, it's probably right after the world shut down. I looked into Moonshine University, where I started with my certified bourbon steward, and then I went to Louisville, Kentucky, in person and got my executive bourbon steward. So I went through the whole process, the sensory tasting, learning distillation, fermentation, mash bill and all that. And then you took a test and then got my chip and became executive bourbon steward. Then from there, I wanted to learn more. So I found out about Whiskey University. And I joined them probably about in 2022. They're out of Tennessee, Columbus, Tennessee. And it's
Hmm.
an online course, university, and it teaches you all things bourbon and whiskey, the history, the mash bills, the aging process, all the different brands across pretty much the world. So like I know the history behind Jim Beam and Jack Daniels and Wild Turkey and things like that. I the history behind the original cocktail, which is kind of the old fashioned. But it wasn't called the old fashioned. So like those things. And then we would go on distillery tours because I've been a lot of distillery tours in Kentucky and Tennessee, here in the Texas area. So I just kind of just went down this rabbit hole. But it also started before I went down a rabbit hole. One of my really good friends, right when COVID was lifting, we did a palate tasting of scotch and whiskey in the Galleria area here in the Houston area. And we started at the bar at Saks Fifth Avenue and just went all the different restaurants in the Galleria Mall. And I was learning about aging process. He was like, this number on the bottle, that's the year it was aged. And I was like, I kind of knew that, but I was like, oh, okay, cool. So he was kind of starting training my palate early.
Hmm.
So, and I think it's because of I've always loved history in general. So, learning about the history behind the bottles of any sort and how things are made, I'm fascinated by it.
Yes. Okay. So tell me, I don't want to say pet peeves, but a habit. What is one tasting habit that you would wish everybody would stop doing, and one that you wish that people would start picking up and start doing?
I think that this is universal. Pick up and stop. Stop judging people on their palate. That is my pet peeve
Hmm.
because one, whiskey is made to be enjoyed with friends. So just and start stop hoarding your bottles too. But you said tasting. Um, I would say stop judging people's palate because everybody palate is different. Nobody's palate is the same. So nobody's going to taste the same thing of what you're tasting. And it's also said that women do have the better palate anyway. Um, But that's my pet peeve is stop judging people's palate. If somebody say they taste an apricot, let them taste that apricot. That's probably what they're tasting, apricot. And it may be
Mhm.
no apricot on that bottle. But if that's what they're tasting, that's what they're tasting. And it's fine. And then on the thing is let them have that moment. Let them have their tasting. Because too, it's also a teachable moment. Because you can start asking, okay, so why do you think you're tasting apricot? And it may not necessarily just be an apricot, it may be, well, it's fruity to me on my palate. And
Mhm.
so it's like, okay, cool. So like that could be a teachable moment. But judging and bashing people, be like, that's not it. We need to stop doing that.
I get it. Yeah. So my one of my side hustles, I'm a brand ambassador. So uh, going to the store and looking at stuff that's on the shelf, and it's being prime property as far as like
Mm-hmm.
stuff that's on top shelf compared to the bottom. I was like, sometimes that stuff that's on the middle and on the bottom shelf, it's not as bad as you think it is. It doesn't always have to cost $1 million for it to be good. But yeah, people,
Because,
we're so used to labels and because of
mm-hmm.
commercials and everything. But
And
yeah,
sometimes that $1 million is not good.
correct.
Because I've had some expensive and be like, "Ooh, we gonna let this sit right there." But then, I got some $20 bottles and be like, "Let's go."
So so you said that you're starting like a month or so. Basically, you put a pin in everything. So what, if you can share, because I don't know if it's behind the ropes or not, as far as what you're wanting to do as the old fashioned barrister. Um,
Well, right now I have my own ready to drink
oh
old
yes, that's right.
fashioned. Yeah, so it's called the Barrister's Cocktail, The Appeal. It is a ready to drink old fashioned made with an apple twist. This is the first batch. It just came out and launched in March. So that is what I'm working on is building that brand. Also, in 2023, I wrote a cocktail book about old fashions. So, about various different old fashions and how to make them. So, my goal is basically just creating a line. Um, and it's the Barrister's Cocktail line. So, just create various different, I would say whiskeys, bourbons, so and just build my brand. But
Okay.
right now, my focus is to put the Barrister's Cocktail, The Appeal, to get that out there, so we can work on a second batch, and then we can move on to different flavors.
So with the iteration that you have now, is it just in Texas, or is it able to ship? How can people get it?
So they can go to my website,
Okay.
www.bourbonbarrister.com, and you can order it online. If you are in Texas, there's 3 stores in Dallas that they're available at: S&K Beverage in Plano, Pelican Liquor in McKinney, and there's another store in Little Elm. Currently in Houston, I am in one store called Liquor Zone in Pearland, Texas. But I am working to get in other stores across the state. But my distributor's in Texas. I'm in Texas. It's made in Texas. So just like focusing on physical stores in Texas right now, but people can buy it online.
Okay. Yeah. There's one in particular. I'm surprised you didn't say it. It's called 73 Wine and Spirit, and it's supposed to be the hub for black owned
Oh,
spirits.
I reached out to them.
Okay.
I
Okay.
did. They're not my distributor, but I did reach out to them.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So that's amazing. And then you can get the book as well through the website. And
Yes.
okay. Okay. And you said that um old fashioned, but you said it has a hint. Did you say apple?
Yes, it has an apple twist.
Okay.
Yep.
Hmm.
So I kept it true to an old
Different.
fashioned. It is a
Uh-huh.
really good old fashioned. It is really good. It's not too appley. It's not too sweet. It's not too strong. Because I didn't just want the bourbon drinkers. That is my target. But it's a ready to drink. So I wanted people who I'm tired. I don't feel like making an old fashioned, or I don't feel
Right.
like making nothing. So let me pour this over ice and let me give you a little apple twist to it. So That's pretty much what it is. I've had several tastings with it. People enjoy it. They love it. People do. Now, my old fashioned drinkers, I will tell you, because they try to check me sometimes and be like, I just like my neat. And I'm like, old fashions are not neat because it's a cocktail. But it is okay for you to add a little twist to it. Like, I did not take away from the old fashioned. It is a
Mhm.
hint of apple. I did not try to make it like Crown Apple or Tennessee Apple because those are flavored whiskeys. So it's not a flavored whiskey. And
Mhm.
it's just a apple expression of an old fashioned.
Mhm. Okay. Well, Latoya said it's delicious. It's great. So
See?
I believe her. I believe her definitely. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's a different twist, and it's intriguing me. It's intriguing me to try it for sure.
Definitely get you a bottle. I recommend it.
Yeah, it sounds really great.
And it's
And
good over. So it's preferably good. It's supposed to be over ice. But
mhm,
what I've been doing is I've been putting it in the freezer. And so when you take out the freezer, it's really good in the freezer. So
okay. Hmm, that sounds amazing. So, um, I was looking at this question. I wonder. I was like, okay,
ask me.
we don't want to ruffle any feathers, but
Ask me.
what one bourbon bottle that's overhyped?
Mm-mm.
And what's
I
oh okay, well
I plead the fifth.
what's one that's been underrated, that's been criminally underrated that people should choose more?
Well, okay. So I'm gonna say anything black. Any bourbon black is underrated, and everybody need to choose it. So from Greenwood Whiskey to New Dawn Distilling
Mm-hmm.
to my good sis Wendy with Archer Elan to I just saw Ebony Major just came out with something. Uh uh what's his name that just came out? Trey just came out with Divergent Spirits. Get mine ready to drink old fashioned, the Barrister's Appeal. So anything black outside of
Okay.
Uncle Nearest, anything black.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So because
Yeah,
we're trying to make a name, we're trying to be on that big stage. So yeah, and
absolutely.
we make good. I've tasted most of anybody, like even Red Hazel. She's out of Atlanta. It's so many to name. Jackson McCrae whiskey, female owned out of California. So anything black is underrated.
I definitely agree with that. That is the whole antithesis of this podcast, is to highlight those um, you know, people in craft and in all fermentation, just to kind of highlight them, because I never would have known that you're in my neck of the woods. I had no idea.
Oh yeah, and I'm
Um,
born and raised from Dallas.
oh, really?
Born and raised.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so am I. I'm Oak Cliff, born and raised Oak Cliff
Okay.
native.
Okay. What high
Yeah,
school?
sock.
I went to Townview.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. So let's see. Yeah, anything black's underrated,
Yeah.
definitely.
Anything black. Because I mean, everything, and I'm not going to say everything else is overrated, but everything else has their marketing. They have their,
Mhm.
they have, people know about it. So let's buy black. No matter what race you are, buy black because it's good. We out there too.
Mhm. And what would you say, as far as, you looking at in the industry, something that you would change as far as growth, um, or
Now this is
long
gonna
standing?
ruffle some feathers. We need to get rid of the distribution side. Get rid of that 3-tier system
Mm-hmm.
because growth would happen if we could sell directly to consumers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because having somebody control where you can and cannot go, or how long it takes for them to restock the shelves at a particular place. Whereas, if I had my full control, oh, what? It's these shelves are, they're empty. Okay, well, here's a box. I can go in there, put it in there, and then let me sell directly, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Or let me have a big event, and yeah, you can buy your bottles at my event. You know, so, or yeah, you can buy directly through me. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what's hindering growth, in my opinion, is the distribution level of the 3-tier system.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope for sure. And basically, you're paying into this person, but they don't have the same drive or love for your product.
And you're paying lesser price. You feel like your bottle is worth X amount. Well, they don't think so. They're like, well, you need
Mm-hmm.
me, so you gonna pay this price, and then we gonna sit at these people and they gonna pay this price. And then what consumers don't understand, because I had to tell people, I was like, when you buy that bottle at the liquor store, I don't get that money because I had to
Mm-hmm.
pay the distributor had to pay me for that. But it works if there's a demand and a need for it. So, you have to keep trying to get the word out, but like you said, the distributors, they're focused on the big box people. They're focused
Yeah.
on the Brown Formans, the Zazarex, the Diageos. That's all they care
Mm-hmm.
about, things that sell for themselves. They're not paying attention to the little people.
Mm-hmm.
But we gotta, scrimp and save and scratch up and be like, beg them to take us, because it's like we can't sell without them.
Yeah. That's it's just it's really a slippery slope with that to to have your baby in somebody else's hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Um so when think master whiskey taster, I'm thinking of someone that can have a line of like a little line of drinks in front of them, and they're able to get notes or tell me what things are. What basically is, I guess you'd say, a master whiskey taster? Is it something for
Mm-mm. That's something that Whiskey University put on that degree, because I'm working on my master's. So when I got my second bachelor, that's what they put on there.
okay.
Yep, I am not that good. And I mean, I can pick out the notes, of course. And I love, let me not say that, because I am that. I am good. I'm not going to diminish myself. But I mean, again, I can pick out the notes, I can pick out what I'm tasting, but at the same time, I still be like, my palate is not your palate.
Mhm.
So I can say, oh, I can taste the nutmeg and some oats and some almonds, and
Horse
you
blanket.
right.
That's
And then you be like,
that's
girl,
my
that tastes
favorite.
like shoe level.
Hmm.
So, I'm like, oh, this has some oaky and earthy tones. And, somebody be like, well, I'm tasting butterscotch. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So if you could share an old fashioned with any three people, living or not, who is joining your table? And what are y'all talking about over these drinks?
So, not living, my daddy,
Hmm.
because he's been deceased for about 8 years. So,
Okay.
absolutely be sharing old fashioned. And him and I be cutting up. First of all, he would be mad because I quit my job. So, I have to get over
Explain
that
that a little
one.
bit.
Yeah, he'll be like, "You a whole lawyer and you quit." So we let get past that. I'd be like, "But Daddy, taste my old fashioned though, it's good." We would be talking about that, from the Dallas Cowboys to what he drinking. He'd be like, "Oh, it's good," and I'll tell everybody about it. So, um, definitely my father. Two other people, you know what? Not living, Thurgood Marshall.
Hmm.
We would just talk about oh my gosh, this how he got started, the time to be a lawyer during those times, and then how he became the first Black Supreme Court justice. Like, I would definitely would like to sit down with Old Fashioned and talk to him about that. And then, um, who else? Who else?
I'm just thinking
Because
about
there's
how you'd have to explain Clarence Thomas to him.
good child. That's what we gonna talk, and we would, and will, and will, and will, and will. And I would think, female wise, I mean, it would definitely be a female, my third. But it's
Yeah.
so many females that I like. I can't just like pinpoint one, because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like honestly, it would be like from Michelle Obama to Kamala Harris to Oprah to Gail to Chanel on the Today Show to Robin Roberts. Like, it's just like so many, so many women just enjoy. Like, I'll just be like, okay, today I want to talk to her, and today I want to talk to her. So, get to know I met the former owner of the Dallas Mavericks. Would love to talk to her again. Cynthia
Oh yeah.
Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to talk to her. Sit down and talk with her. I would love to I cannot think of her name. And please, Bourbon community, don't come for me, because I was at the Black Bourbon Society, and she did our lunch, and she is the oldest first woman at Brown Forman, Black woman living out of Louisville, Kentucky. I think she was their first Black chemist. Love to sit down and talk with her. Like, cannot not think her name. I would even love to sit down and talk to the lady, the woman here in Galveston who fought for Juneteenth.
Yeah.
So yeah, Miss Opal is her
Yes.
name.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just
Okay.
look, my mama. I talk to her all the time, and I gotta drink Old Fashioned.
We actually have a question from NTX Beer. Said, do you have any favorite international whiskeys? If so, what whiskey from country stands out to you?
So I do not have a favorite international whiskeys, because I am actually learning more about, like, I so Irish. I would prefer Irish whiskey over Scotch. I would definitely do that. I am, and that's because I'm just not. Scotch is too peated. But if I do an Irish whiskey, it would probably be more like Bushmills,
Okay.
because I am learning a little bit more about Bushmills. I actually want to go to Ireland, because I want to go to their distilleries out there. I still want to go to Scotland too, because I want to go to Ben Loddich's and see them, even though I'm not a Scotch drinker. But I would say I would say favorite, but I would prefer an Irish whiskey. Okay. And then I would look into Bushmills. Sorry for them Jameson folks out there. I'm just, unless it's like Jameson Black or something, like higher end Jameson.
Let's see. I have questions like, if a famous bourbon brand were characters in a courtroom drama, who would be the smooth talking defense attorney, the nonsense judge, and the unreliable witness?
I would say Brown Foreman be the no nonsense judge, because they have the older brands, like Buffalo Trace. So everybody love Buffalo Trace. I think the smooth talker would probably Zazarak House. No, I'm sorry, Zazarak House and Brown. That's part of the same line. I would say Diageo would be the smooth talker, because yeah, they be the smooth talker, because who they have. And then Beam Centauri would probably be the prosecutor, because that's Jim Beam. So yeah, I could. That's yeah.
So, thank you so much, Brandi. I have one last question for you. So, what does being Black and craft mean to you? Is it about visibility, legacy, community, innovation, or something different?
All of it. There's not just one answer. It's about being seen, being heard, being in the community to help the community and have have the community rally and support you. Um, being different just by itself. I mean, we're different because we are black and I'm black and a female. So, being intentional. Oh yeah, just all of it.
Mhm.
And having a good product. Because just because I'm black and a female, I still want good quality, what that I put out.
Okay. Well, those are all the questions that I have for you this evening. I had an amazing time talking to you and learning so much about you. Thank you, everyone who tuned in to Being Black and Craft. And everything is available, will be available for you once we leave on tomorrow. And Brandi, just hang on for a second, and we will see y'all next week.